the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under commanding General YAHANNA. You understand? It is Friday, the Lashawan Qadash class. We're going to start off every class. Like we start off every class with the Hebrew alphabet. So if you would, repeat after me. All right. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, ba, tuza, qua, ra, sha, and the. All right. Gonna zoom out. All right. All right, so today we're gonna get into grab my my markers out the back seat. All right, so today we're gonna get into a little bit more principles dealing with tearing down other spiritual systems, right? By understanding what they are, right? So in Israel, you know what I'm saying, it's Shema Yasha'Allah, Yahweh Allah Akkad, which is listen, Israel, our God is one, right? Okay, so the water, brother. All right, so we literally either got destroyed, punished, put in slavery, lost wars by following gods or spiritual systems of other cultures or other people, right? Okay. Oh, you got the brand new. You couldn't find the one that was open, wasn't in there? It's all good. Don't worry about it. We're going to work with this. All right. So one of the spiritual systems that plague Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans is Santeria, right? So Santeria comes from West Africa, and it was brought over here through the transatlantic slave trade. It is popular in South America, Central America, places like Brazil, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Caribbean islands, New Orleans, Miami, Cuba, right? So we're going to go over what these things are, right? So, you know, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, right? So, you know, we don't praise mysticism, right? So we break things down practically. So when you're dealing with a brother or sister that's in this path, you understand, they tell you who they are, what they dealing with, you'll know what type of spirit or energy that you're going to have to exercise about it. All right. So we're going to start with the first one. All right. So what we're dealing with Orisha of Santeria. All right. So the first principle that we're going to cut and deal with, because all this stuff goes back to the land of Canaan. These are, what they talked about in the Bible, talked about Baal or Baalism. This is what they're talking about. These these spirits or entities that people have been praising are go all the way back to Babylon, right? And we're going to break these things down, all right? So the first principle, Shango, all right? So this is the name, how it's spelled today, right? But I'm going to give you the principle where it comes from in Hebrew, all right? All right. So the word Shango, all right, comes from the Hebrew word Shanga, all right, which is a verb, all right, all right, it is a verb, all right. This verb means to shine or glitter, all right. It also comes from the root word naga. All right, the root word here is naga. Let's see. Ooh. All right, which means to illuminate. All right, so Shango, according to Santeria lore, is the Orisha over thunder, lightning, and fire. All right, which is Shango comes from the Hebrew word Shanga, and the root word is naga, which means to shine, glitter, or to illuminate, lightning and fire, right? So when they are creating altars to the Orisha Shango, right, they're creating altars to the creation, which is lightning or fire, right? So instead of praising the creator, right, they are praising the creation, which is lightning or fire. Okay, so this is the breakdown for what Shango means. All right, Shango comes from the Hebrew word Shanga, which is to shine, glitter, to illuminate, which is why Shango, the Orisha, has to do with thunder, lightning, and fire. All right. Okay, we're gonna go to the next one, which is a popular one, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard. All right. Yimiya. All right. It's one of the popular ones. All right. break this down. All right. So Yemiyah, the Orisha, all right, this nuanced word, right? Because first thing you got to understand about Hebrew, all right? Hebrew is a Canaanite language, all right? So Hebrew or Ibri, right, comes from the land of Eber, right? So Abraham left from Mesopotamia, right? And he moved down into Canaanite land, which is Phoenicia, right? That's why ancient Hebrew is called Paleo-Phoenician, right? It's a Canaanite language, right? So these are Canaanite words that describe the energies and stuff like that they were praising instead of the creator, right? Okay, so all of our language is based off of captivity or the people that we were surrounded. All right. So you have Paleo Ancient Phoenician Hebrew, right? Which is the Canaanite language because we dwelt in the land of Canaan. You know what I'm saying? Abraham left from Mesopotamia, moved into the land of Canaan. All right. Then you have Assyrian Hebrew, which was transformed during the Assyrian captivity when the Israelites went into the Assyrian captivity. Right. Then you have the Hellenization when we were all converted into the Greco-Roman Empire. So we all spoke Greek. So all of the Hebrew texts had to be converted to Greek, which is where also now you get the New Testament, right? And now you have Yiddish, which is a Slavic tongue or Germanic tongue that's mixed with the Assyrian and the Germanic Slavic tongue, which is what you now have is Yiddish, which is modern day Hebrew. All right, just to give you a little history lesson so you know where everything comes from. All right, so these are Canaanite principles. All right, this is ancient Hebrew Canaanite principles. All right, so you know that this goes all the way back to Babylon. All right, so Yemiyah comes from the Hebrew word Yemaya. All right, so Yemaya, all right, means, all right, maritime, marine, the sea, or sea going. All right. So, and we know this because in the Lord's Prayer, we have Abanawa Shabbat Shemayim, Mayim, right? Mayim has to do with the waters, right? Right here you have Maya, right? Which is a part of Mayim. All right. Maya is water. Mayim, it has to do with a large body of water. All right. So Yemaya has to do with maritime or the sea or seagoing. All right. Which is why Yemiyah, the Orisha, has to do with anything that is of the sea. All right. So we have Shango, which comes from the Hebrew word Shanga, which means to shine, glitter, or from the root word to illuminate, which is why the principle of Shango means thunder, lightning, fire, right? It's talking about the elements, all right, and the principles, all right? Yemiyah, all right, comes from the Hebrew word Yamaya, which deals with maritime or the marina, the sea or seagoing, which is why Yemiyah has Orisha has anything to do with the sea. She's always personified, covered in blue and white, which shows the sea, or she's also represented as a mermaid, right? So these are principles, right? Principles um, dealing with elements, right? So they're praising elements. They're praising creations from the creator instead of the creator that created all elements. All right. Okay. Make sure you got this screenshotted or written down. All right. So, when you come across somebody that's, dealing with this spiritual system, you can cut them because you got where it's coming from. All right. Because you know the linguistics, you know the language. All right. And you're not gonna get this breakdown nowhere but the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
Right.
All right. Okay. You got it out. You got it already. Oh, God. All right. All right. No sweat. All right. All right. The next one we gonna deal with Obatala. All right. And just so you know, like prime example, like when we fled from captivity in 70 AD, and we fled amongst the Ashanti in the west coast of Africa, right? So the way you say things change, right? Think of it like a brother from the South, a brother from Texas, a brother from Atlanta, a brother from Miami, a brother from Philly, a brother from New York, and a brother from Cali talking, right? So we can be saying the same thing. Down south, we say bro. New York, they say B. You know what I'm saying? So in the UK, they say bruv. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Right? So like when you get to the West Coast, like wise go to O's, right? So like you have Yahweh, right, which is Judah, right? So when we lived amongst the Ashanti, they had an area that the Ashanti that captured us, those that came from the west coast of Africa, from an area that was called Oida, right? Oida is Judah. All right. So we got Obatala. Show you where this principle comes from. All right, I'm only gonna write it in paleo because it's gonna break down in a couple of different things. All right. All right. All right. So break these things down. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So you have. Dang. I'm gonna bring them down this way. All right. So you got the first one. No, I got room. I'm just gonna bust them down a little bit. All right. So you got the first one. All right. So you have the first one, which is Abathala, right? This is a moth, like a butterfly. All right. Then you have Bath La. All right. This has to do with will, like I will. All right. And then you have, of course, Abba. All right. Which is father. All right. Okay, so you have father, I will moth, but moth is like butterfly. All right. So a butterfly transfigures from one thing unto another, right? So this is dealing with creation. All right. In Santeria, Obatala is the father of creation. All right. Through him, all the Orisha are created, the earth is created, man is formed, right? So, and then and another thing about Santeria, they mix the Orisha with Catholic saints. Okay. So they try and mix the principles in with Christianity. All right. It's another thing that you need to know. All right. I think we got some questions. No, it's just people checking in. All right. No sweat. All right. So Obatala, all right, it's really broken down in 3 words. All right. So Abathala, all right, is a moth dealing with a butterfly creation, transforming from one thing to another, from a caterpillar, all right, to a butterfly. Abathala, all right, is I will, right, and Abba is father. Father, I will create. All right. Abathala is the father of the Orisha, father of creation. He created all of them. All right. That's where this principle comes from. All right. We're gonna move. I'm sorry, that's wrong. Sky Father. Sorry. That's wrong. So he's the Sky Father. So he created he created the heavens. He created humans. He's supposed to be the breath of life. Oh, I have it in my notes. For them, they tie the Orisha Obatala this is their Christ, right? So this is when you go like South America, they have him tied to the same Christos. All right, they try and say this is Jesus. It's not Jesus. All right, okay. So this is the Canaanite God whom they said through all things were created. All right, Obatala. All right, we're gonna go on to the next one. This the one right here. Olumare. All right. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna write this one in paleo. All right. So Oludumare, all right, in Hebrew is Allah Damar, right? So Allah Damar, all right. I'm gonna break down both words. All right. So the first word in this word is Allah. All right. What does Allah mean? Go ahead. If I say the Allahayim, what am I saying? Okay, so in English, when you see God, it says Allahayim, right? But what does Allah mean? Power, yeah, it means power. Because Allahayim, yum is plural, right? So that's a pluralization, powers. That's why it said when you see God, it's talking about the heavenly hosts, right? Okay, so we know that Allah is power. We ain't talking about the show. All right. The next word is Damar. All right. Damar. All right. Means to amaze and wonder. All right. So, Oludumare or Allah Damar is power to amaze and wonder. All right. This right here, all right, for them, this is the most high for them. Their supreme creator. All right. So for them, Oludumare, which is Allah Damar, power to amaze or wonder, is the Most High and Supreme Creator. And Obatala, which is Abathala, right? Which is the Sky Father creating humans, breath of life, is supposed to be their version of Christ, right? So Father, Son. All right. This is where these principles come from. All right. So take a picture of that, screenshot that, copy it down. All right. Yeah, go ahead. All right. So these are principles. All right. Principles. All right. All right. So you got it? All right. No sweat. We're going to move on. You're not going to get this breakdown nowhere else. All right. This next one is probably the most popular one next to Yemi Ya. Everybody heard this song. It was in all the neo soul songs back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Oshun. All right. Okay, cool. All right. So the next Orisha and Santeria we're gonna deal with is probably one of the most popular ones you people talk about all the time. All right, is Oshun. All right. In Hebrew, this Orisha and Santeria comes from the principle of the Hebrew word Ashana. All right. Ashana. All right. All right. It comes from two words. We're just going to write them out. All right. Ashan and Yashan, right? These are two words that Ashna comes from. They both mean the same thing. All right. Which is sleep or dream dealing with future. All right. Which is why Oshun, principle wise, deals with your destiny. All right. So as you can see, when you know the Hebrew, you know where these principles come from. All right. So Oshun comes from the Hebrew word Ashana. This word comes from two words, Ashan or Yashan, which means to sleep or dream, dealing with the future. All right. So like, you have a dream or a premonition or to prophesy, to see into the future, or to have a dream. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a doctor when I grew up. You know what I'm saying? That was a dream for my future, right? So, which is why people that follow St. Paulo or Santeria, they beseech Oshun, dealing with their destiny or not knowing where to go, right? So, this is why it's important to know linguistics, because when you know linguistics, you know what you're dealing with. You understand? Everything goes back to Hebrew, right? Hebrew is the second oldest language. It's the oldest living speaking language, but it's the second oldest language in the world. The first oldest language is Sanskrit, right? Which was used in Babylon, in Babylonian times, right? So you got Sanskrit, you got Paleo, ancient Phoenician Hebrew, right? Uh, then you have the hieroglyphs of Egypt. After that, you have Greek, you have Latin, right? And then all of your languages comes from a breakdown of that. So Aramaic, Akkadian, all of those things are a mix of Latin, Greek, and Hebrew, right? It's also, in English is like the last language, all right? It's a bastardized tongue. All the old languages are reading from right to left. English reads from left to right, all right? All right, so it's why it's very important for you to know these things, all right? Okay? All right. Okay, we'll go on to the next one. Oh, yeah. All right. All right. So you deal with the next principle, Orisha, Oya. All right. Oya comes from, and as you can see, the O's are represented by the I. All right, the I in the alphabet. All right. So Oya is Aya. All right. So let's find out what Aya means. All right. All right. So Aya, let me grab my blue marker. All right, so Aya is a screamer, a hawk, a howler. All right. I'm sorry. Howling beast. Wild beast. Or jackal. All right. Coincidentally, Oya principle deals with winds, lightning, violent storms, death, and rebirth. All right. So, Oya in Hebrew, Ayah, all right, screamer, or dealing with a hawk. That's winds. All right. Howling beast, wild beast, lightning, violent storm, or a jackal, right? Going to Canaanite traditions all the way to Egypt. Jackal is represented by Anubis, who is their deity dealing with death and rebirth. All right. So that's Oya, or in Hebrew, Ayah. When you know the Hebrew, you know what the principles are. You know what spirits you're dealing with. All right. Okay. So when you're dealing with Santeria, when you're dealing with someone that is dealing with Santeria, you need to know these things. All right. So before I move on, take a picture, write this down before we move on. All right. I'll just erase the top one. We only got one more to go over. It's another popular one. Ogun. All right. All right. So Ogun, all right, has to deal with, all right, it means I am guarding. All right. All right. So Ogun in the Santeria Pantheon, all right, deals with the earth. Ogun is represented by iron ore, right? So most people that worship or praise Ogun, they normally have like a cast iron black cauldron. They put all types of like knives and all types of things, like put dirt in there to represent Earth. All right. So these are the major Orisha dealing with Santeria. See what time is it? Right on time. All right. But dealing with these things in Hebrew, you're dealing with elements, right? So instead of praising the Creator, the Most High, Yahweh, right? They created deities out of elements, spirits out of elements, right? So they created a spirit for the water, Yemiyah, right? The spirit has been praised over time, so it's they've given this spirit power, right? But in Israel, it's only one power. You understand? And we Yashala, you know what I'm saying? Prince of the power, the one true power, the one true God, Yahweh. You understand? All right. Like Ogun has to deal with the earth element. All right. Oya has to deal with wind. Shango has to deal with fire. Right. Oshun has to deal with spirit or sleep or future, destiny. Right. Obatala has to deal with creation, bringing something into fruition. Right. Olumare is their version of the Most High. Is what they call the Creator. All right, which is Allah Damar, which is the power to amaze or the power to wonder. That's why when you're dealing with Muslims and he's like, we praise Allah. Well, Allah means power. What power are you talking about? You understand? Are you talking about Allah Damar or Oludumare? That's a power, right? Are you talking about Obatala? Abathala, right? Which is the power to create, right? What power are you talking about? When people say, I praise God, I worship God. Okay, well, God in Hebrew is Alahayim, right? Powers, all right, which is the heavenly host. That's not the Most High, right? You understand? And when the angels came down, when Abraham fell to his knees, it's like, hey, man, I'm a servant of the Most High just like you. I worship you. You know what I'm saying? These entities are not to be worshipped. You know what I'm saying? According to Leviticus, Exodus, and Deuteronomy, you know what I'm saying? We bow down to no figure on earth, you know what I'm saying, or represent or graven image in heaven above or in the earth or the seas below. Right. You understand? So you have to understand and know these principles to cut that. Oh, man, you just praise the wind. Oh, man, you just praising the lightning. You just praising fire. You just praising water. You know what I'm saying? You giving praise to elements that the Most High created instead of to the Most High. You understand? The Most High's name is not Obatala. It's not Olumare. You understand? It is Yahweh, right? The terrible power. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Whom shall we fear? The Father we fear. You understand? Abanawa, our Father, which is what we say in the beginning of the Lord's Prayer. And like, you have to understand, man, like when Christians say there's power in the name, it is. That's why when people say, I praise Allah, what power are you talking about? You understand? Who you talking to? You understand? You can't just you gotta be specific. You understand? That's why when we say Abanawa Shabbat Shemayim Qadash Hayah Shemka Yahweh, right? So he's saying our Father who art in heaven. Then we say his name, Yahweh, right? Because you can be like Abanawa Shabbat Shemayim Qadash Shemya Shemka Olumare. You see what I'm saying? What power are you praying to? That's why it's important for you to know your language, important for you to know your tongue, important for you to know your culture, the power that you have. You understand? This is our culture, this is our power, this is our spiritual power. You understand? So you have to know who to call upon. You feel me? All right. So we're gonna cut the class right there. Next class, we're gonna carry on talking about the power of prayer. We're gonna get into some more prayers that you can say. You know what I'm saying? Prayers, short prayers for defense. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into some of the prayers that the priests and prophets did in the Bible to call on the angels for strength to defend them. You understand? So, we're gonna stop right there. We're gonna give a curse salute to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakathon to the brothers, and Shalom Yahweh Shamar Elathan by Shem Yahshua to the sisters. And we gone.